What's up, y'all? It's Poppin' and Steve. About to react to this vid by T-Spill. It's titled Trisha Paytas calls out Jeffree Star. Okay, I just reacted to Jeffree coming for Trisha a few days ago, and now Trisha has come out like, You wanna speak on it? Let's speak on it. So now she about to talk her ish. So we're gonna see what she has to say. Let's watch.
Two people we haven't talked about in a really long time are Trisha Paytas and Jeffree Star. Ever since Frenemies ended, Trisha has very much been in her protecting my peace era, and she steered clear of getting involved in any kind of drama. Jeffree has also followed a similar path as Trisha and completely distanced himself from the influencer space and the drama that follows it. He moved his life down to Wyoming, opened a ranch, and started selling yak meat. Trisha and Jeffree were probably the two people in the influencer space that you could always expect at least some drama from, so seeing them step away from that was a massive change. Well, we're finally getting a taste of the old days because both Jeffree and Trisha are back in the drama. It's a mess, so let's get into it. Ever since Frenemies ended, Trisha completely changed her online personality and started to back away from the drama. She focused on being a mom and making
I want to see her baby.
Vlogs, and there really hasn't been much drama to report on with her. The first time that Trisha was actually involved in any kind of drama in a long time was when everything came out about Colleen, leading to the end of their joint podcast and Trisha disavowing Colleen. Trisha has since gone on to make her own podcast called Just Trish, and it's been extremely successful for her. Trisha hasn't seen numbers like this in years. Every episode has been hitting anywhere from like 200,000 to 1 million views, and it's very much giving
her baby is turning 1.
Trisha has been dipping her toes back into speaking on influencers and talking about pop culture headlines and things happening in the industry. And as entertaining as it has been to watch lately, it's also letting Trisha back into the drama that she tried so hard to avoid. A few days ago, Trisha had Terry Joe on her podcast, and as some of you guys probably know, Terry Joe often goes live with Jeffree Star. Recently, Jeffree has been really big into doing TikTok lives. Every time I'm scrolling on my For You page, some live of Jeffree with someone I've never seen before pops up, and they can go on for hours. Since Terry Joe knows of Jeffree Star, he ended up being brought up during the podcast. Trisha said that she didn't really know if she had beef with Jeffree, and if she did, she forgot about it.
Well, how did you do Jeffree and Eugenia? Because that's like the holy trinity of TikTok live.
I saw Eugenia. It didn't say that she was live with Jeffree. It usually shows like they're live with someone else. And I just clicked her name.
Sorry, her baby is cute.
And you haven't met him in real life?
No.
We can be iconic. I haven't seen you guys together.
Okay. I'm a little scared of him.
Except, really?
Yeah, but not really.
Right.
I'm also scared of everyone.
I'm scared of everyone too, yeah. No, Jeffree's cool.
Yeah.
I think we like have like, I don't know, maybe we didn't have beef. I don't know. Sometimes you think about like, why did we fall out? Sometimes I forget. I was just a hot mess. I just like hated everyone for a minute.
That was the point of like the internet at that time when everyone was just falling out with each other. Like,
that's what the
I think that's like the entertainment value of the internet.
Someone on TikTok ended up taking this clip and putting it into a compilation showing Trisha claiming that she forgot about what they were fighting over, and then added clips from the height of this drama where Trisha was extremely upset on camera talking about how Jeffree treated her during that Vegas trip.
Jeffree's cool.
Yeah.
I think we like have like, I don't know, maybe we didn't have beef. I don't know. Sometimes you think about like, why did we fall out? Sometimes I forget.
This is Jeffree Star so awful to me on this Vegas trip a year ago.
Romantic, fabulous getaway weekend with Jeffree Star in Vegas, which was so over the top and fun and amazing, and it was the best weekend of my life.
Jeffree was the one who said all those vile things. Jay was just stupid enough to repeat and confirm it online because he's his little minion. But Jeffree is also just as vile, so obviously trash is going to keep trash. Jeffree's cool.
Yeah.
I think we like...
Jeffree then went on live, and it sounds like he was reacting to this specific compilation of clips. Now, I personally wasn't on the live, so I'm not 100% sure, but that's what this sounds like. Jeffree got really heated about the clips. History. Just for a little bit of a recap here, a few years ago, Trisha went on this trip with Jeffree Star and his whole team to Vegas for Valentine's. And to explain herself for why she canceled on Bunny at the last minute and said that she looks up to her and feels extremely horrible for doing that to her and her team.
So I have actually never been more visibly shaken than I am right now. My biggest fear when I canceled last minute on Bunny was this happening was just her talking about it, because I know she has such a loyal fan base. I love Bunny. She's super sweet. I think she's very unproblematic. And so I was just like so nervous because I did ghost her within an hour of us supposed to record. I texted her to cancel because I was trying to squeeze it in to do her podcast. I wanted to do her podcast more than anything. Like, I love Bunny. I keep telling her, like, it's amazing, her story. Like, every time a new part of her story comes out, like, I'm in awe, and I think I looked up to her in so many ways. So, the last thing I wanted to do was cancel. I just sent a text and was like, I don't know if this is going to work. I didn't check my phone the rest of the night. You guys are going to see on Thursday. I got this really amazing opportunity in Vegas, like this really amazing opportunity. And it was supposed to be for the next day. And then we got something that night and we just were cutting it so close. It was like picking up the boots, how to go to this event, like check my mom and baby in the hotel. Like, and I told her, I was like, I feel so awful. And no excuse. And Bunny, I am so sorry. Like, I know how disrespectful that is on so many levels. And obviously it did affect her for her to bring it up on the podcast, and I am so sorry.
She then went on to talk about the Vegas trip again and called Jeffree out for trying to claim that she lied about what happened.
But bringing it up on a podcast with Jeffree Star, who just hates me and continues to just hate me. I brought him up so briefly. It was asked on Tana's podcast about Jeffree, and I tried to just pass it off as like it happened a long time ago. I don't even remember. And he just went on this tirade, attacking me, calling me a liar. And there's one thing being in drama and responding to drama, and there's another thing to just have lies made up and just this is definition of gaslighting, to say I owe him an apology. Like, I am shaking.
Trisha seemed extremely upset that Jeffree was bringing up Hair by Jay, and she was getting really worked up over the whole situation.
To say that I lied about him, and then he also brings in Hair by Jay, saying I lied about Hair by Jay, when there's videos of Hair by Jay just cussing me out, telling me how ugly I am. And then there's videos of other people on that trip talking about all the mean girl behavior that happened. The reason I bought my own flight home. I was grateful with that trip. I was grateful with my friendship with Jeffree. But things happened, and I didn't feel good about it anymore, and so I was out. I didn't say anything about Jeffree for years. I opened up to Shane and Rylan, and that is why my friendship with Shane ended, because Rylan said we had no idea she had these feelings about Jeffree. And they're like, the Hair by Jay, okay, we only picked Jeffree, and that's fine. That's fine. I made my peace with it. I've truly made my peace with it, and I really don't want this drama, but I'm not gonna let me get dragged in and say I lied, and I owe him an apology, and it was hurtful to him.
She went on to say that she feels like Buddy bringing this up was a bit like mean girl behavior because of her history with Jeffree.
There's plenty of receipts, there's plenty of videos of this online, of apologies, of all this stuff online.
Bunny? I'm gonna go.
And I thought I was just being polite by saying it was a long time ago. I don't even remember, because I don't want to dredge this up, because for me, it's humiliating, it's embarrassing. Who I was back then is embarrassing. I thought who we were back then was embarrassing. I thought Jeffree could agree on that. And like seeing all this, and then seeing Bunny bring it up on this episode where Jeffree just despises me, knowing that he's going to go off on me and say I'm a liar and all this stuff like that. Say I wanted it, like, was looking for clout when I didn't say anything for years. I don't know. It felt a little bit of an attack. It felt a little bit mean girl behavior, because I get it. What I did was so disrespectful to Bunny. Like, I should not have canceled last minute. I shouldn't have even made the plans to begin with. I was just so flustered. This trip, this event that was happening is like one of the biggest things that have ever happened in my entire life. I was so focused on that, and I am so sorry. I am so sorry.
Bunny actually responded to Trisha in her comment section and said, I didn't speak bad of Trisha at all. If you listen to the pod, I def talk very good about Trish, but was explaining what happened. And Trisha responded and said, I get what I did is gross. I get being away from your family and I wasted your time. But putting my name on blast only incites hate. It's humiliating. Bunny then posted her own video response and claimed that she never talked badly about Trisha on the podcast, and explained how hurtful it was for her to have Trisha cancel on her podcast when she put a ton of work into making things work out.
When I did this podcast, if you guys listened to the podcast, if you've listened to it already, you know that in the podcast I do nothing but talk good about Trisha. And I'm just matter-of-factly stating what happened between Trisha and I. Her missing the podcast actually really did bother me. One, because it's unprofessional. Two, because I had to leave Vegas, go to Utah, and I'm doing this while I'm sick, by the way. Go to Utah, do my meet and greet, leave Utah, drive 6 hours back to Vegas, get there, get ready for her to come. I had to organize having a private jet there right after we got done filming, like we had planned from 2 to 5. We had planned that. I had to have a private jet ready to take me from Vegas to Montana so that I could make it to my meet and greet in Montana and to do the Jeffree podcast. Not to mention I had to drag my entire team along with me. I understand that things happen. Where I do have a problem with it, though, was where I text Trisha back and I explained to her, like, no, I don't have another day. Like, this my entire past 2 days revolves around you. She did not even have the decency to text me back. You say you respect me, you say you admire me, but at the same time, it's like you don't respect my time. So saying that you felt ganged up on, I think might just be your guilt, maybe because you feel bad, you know that you handled the situation with me wrong, and I understand that.
Canceling on someone at the last minute like that, and not even having the decency to reply back to their text, isn't a nice thing to do. I think Bunny has every right to be upset over that. From what I personally saw of the short clip, it didn't sound like Bunny was pushing Jeffree to talk about Trisha. She was just talking about her own situation, and then Jeffree jumped in with his own story. It really sounds like Bunny had no idea about any drama that's happened, and I mean, even for people who are tuned into the drama, it can be so hard to keep up and follow everything throughout the years, so I can't even picture how.
Right, I keep up with drama as a fucking job, and I can't keep up with this shit. Okay, I can't keep up with all this stuff that's going on. I still don't know a lot. All right.
Doesn't keep up with it would have any idea of what happened years ago. As for Jeffree, I'm just so confused. Tab spoke out about what happened here by Jake.
I'm tired of him. See, this is what I don't like about Trisha. She makes herself the victim in every fucking situation, and it's like, girl, it's so tiring at this point. I feel like she's never at fault. And even when she is taking blame to some degree, she still brings it right back to her being the victim. And well, it's humiliating because why would you even bring me up and even talk about me? She spoke her fucking truth. You flaked. All right? She said you flaked. And even the person who put this video together, they said they didn't see, at any point that she spoke ill of her. Bunny said she didn't speak ill of her. So what's the problem? You was the one who flaked. She just told the truth. The truth is you flaked. If you don't like that truth, then do fucking better. Why would you do that? And she had all this shit set up for you to come. She moving around her schedule and shit, bringing her team to a certain place to meet you, and you just flake on her last minute, and then you didn't even respond after. Like, you're trifling. So how you bringing it back to, well, I'm the victim and she knows I don't like Jeffree, and why would you have Jeffree on your podcast and y'all talking about me? Like, you making yourself out to be the victim at this point. It's like, girl, you did her dirty. Stop it. This is what gets on my nerves about her. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what other videos you want me to watch, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.